Grand rising, grand rising, grand rising, you beautiful, beautiful souls. Welcome back to Wisdom Discerns. If this is your first time tuning into my channel, my name is Nicole and I am a seer. I am an inspirational, transformative life coach, and most importantly, I am a child of God just as well as you are too. So today's message, y'all, is stand firm in the truth. And in Ephesians chapter 6, verse 14, Paul speaks about how we are encouraged to ensure that we have the belt buckle of truth wrapped around our waist. Now, I'm going to bring awareness to that specific verse because it's the food that we ingest. It has to digest. What goes in, it must come out. See, the things that we put in our body and things that we allow to go into our belly. See, when people sing, they sing from their belly. When you cry from your belly. So understand that when you are wailing and when you are breathing or when you are in a moment of anxiety and you can't breathe, usually we are encouraged to pull that energy from our belly. You know, those deep belly breaths, right? To stand in that truth and to know your truth, regardless of the noise that we may hear around us, it requires some extra focus on that belly. Come on, y'all. Let's jump into prayer real quick. We're going to say a little prayer. It is first thing in the morning. And I do believe, well, it's the rising. Because when we say morning, that means that we offer or we invite that morning into our life. So even though we acknowledge that it is the morning time, we can, instead of mourning, we can rejoice and we can be glad in it because we know that once we rise and we wake up, hence grand rising, we have that ability to hit that reset button and to start the day all over again. Dear God, dear God, dear God, I thank you. I thank you so much for coming into this space with me. I thank you so much for wrapping your hands around me, for covering me from not only the crown of my head to the soles of my feet. I just want to thank you for covering every place that I dwell in, for protecting the wheels on the tires and the vehicles that I travel in. Dear God, I just want to lift up my subscribers and to all those who are currently watching, regardless of the side of the world that they are in. God, I know that you are a miracle maker. God, I know that you are an intercessor. God, I know that it is you who can show up in multiple places at multiple times and still show out and show that your hand is present in the space that we are moving in. God, I want to just thank you because we don't thank you enough. God, I just want to thank you. I want to thank you. I want to thank you. And I love you, God, most importantly, because not only are you my employer, dear God, and that you continue to provide for all of your children, just as the animals on the planet Earth, they find a way to eat. They do not go hungry. Dear God, they find a way to sleep because there is always provision for each and every one of us in the storm, just as the birds take shelter in the inclement weather. God, I just love you. And I know that although things may be very disastrous around many of us currently, whether we are dealing with an internal battle or whether we are being consumed by the external distractions that are going on around us, God, it is you that will continue to strengthen us when we feel weak. God, I know that in the moment, now I know I may be speaking to one of my subscribers, God, who is struggling right now to get up. They are struggling right now because they don't currently have any encouragement to support them along their journey. But God, I know that you are a way maker. And God, I know that you use individuals to do your work. And I just pray that you continue to show your hand of mercy, of forgiveness in each and every one of our lives. God, I just love you and I thank you for joining this space with us. And I ask that you travel and that you move and that you send your angels. Not only will you show up for us, but I ask that you send your strongest angels to move with us through these very uncertain times that we are currently living in. God, I love you. I love you. I love you, dear God, dear God, dear God. And I just thank you for just being so merciful and so wonderful. But anyway, y'all, we're going to go ahead and jump back into this word. The word for today, y'all, is to make sure that you have your belt buckle of truth intact, okay? Because you have to understand that the words and the poison and the different situations that we may stumble upon our journey, remember, they seep into our mind, but they also get into our belly, because what we ingest, we digest. So when you have that belt buckle of truth in place and it's locked in place, understand that the word will always intercede for us. See, it's that moment where you could cast out those demonic voices. It's those moments when you can say, I'm not going to accept that as truth. It doesn't matter what things may look like, because remember, y'all, things are never ever what they appear to be, okay? So they may appear to be one way, but in all actuality, it's the complete polar opposite. So when you know that you are encouraged to stand with your belt buckle of truth intact, at that point, that's where your faith and your belief will step in, and it will carry you along your journey. Remember, y'all, every minute, especially when you're going through spiritual warfare, I mean, every second counts, because sometimes you have to take this thing 1 second at a time, 1 minute at a time, 1 day at a time, 1 mustard seed of faith at a time. You understand? Sometimes these battles and these different things that we may endure, they may come in and try to rob you of your mustard seed, okay? It's that moment where you have to stand with that belt buckle of truth intact, and you have to understand that God will continue to restore your faith. He will restore your strength. This is why we are encouraged to only have, at minimum, mustard seed of faith, because it will grow just as any other seed that we plant. It grows and it harvests, and it will begin to show up in every step that you take. Let's go ahead and move to Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12. For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but we wrestle against principalities, darkness, and wickedness in high places. Understand that these demonic entities, they will not only jump into our governing body, but they will jump into your significant others. They will jump into your children. They will jump into your employers. See, it's that moment as we continue to develop and we grow. That's when we move from eating vegetables to solid food. That's when we begin to refine our spiritual sight, and we move from that space of blindness. See, because it's many of us, And definitely me, y'all. I could put the focus on I just like that, because accountability along this journey is key. I once was blind, but now I see. That verse right there is so powerful, because you can have carnal sight, but you are blinded spiritually. For so long, I was walking blind, y'all. So I personally have learned to trust, and to not only trust my level of development, most importantly, I have learned to trust God, because I know that when I come to a space where I don't know what to do, it's that moment where you have to be still and wait upon a word from God. We are encouraged to remember that we don't wrestle against flesh and blood, but we wrestle against principalities. You can be consumed by many things going on around you, yet you are blinded to the actual purpose of the presence of these situations. On that note, y'all, I want to just tell you, most importantly, that I love you. And if nobody told you today that they love you, I'm telling you that I love you, and God loves you. I want you to be encouraged, okay? Even when you are discouraged, I want you to dig into your belly and find that strength as you tighten your belt buckle of truth. Okay? On that note, I do hope that you guys have an amazing, amazing day. God bless you, and I will catch you in the next one.